Hello guys and welcome to episode 2 of my Total War Warhammer 2 playthrough playing as Khemri. Today we're going to be continuing with Settra the Imperishable towards Gor Kazaam and the Top Knots. Now before I continue, I just wanted to say that I did have to replay the battle at the Salt Plain. I had the quick save for the battle but not a save afterwards. So yeah, I must have forgotten. But either way, that's why the troop numbers are different down here. But we're basically back into the same place we were, as I've given Settra the same skill that I did in his skill tree. Now, before we continue on to the next turn, there is a couple of things we want to do. First of all is recruit some new troops. So let's get ourselves the second skeleton chariot here, and we'll grab ourselves a unit of skeleton archers and a unit of skeleton spearmen. The other thing I noticed was that I don't actually need to build the open graves in Khemri, since I have the open graves here at the Salt Plain. So we're going to build something else there. Let's have a quick look at some of these buildings. So we could possibly go for one of the other military buildings later down the line. We could maybe go for the open graves anyway in order to enable us to build more, Tomb Guard and Nehekara warriors later down the line. But the other thing that I was looking at is maybe going for the Charnel Plaza here, which will improve our income earlier on and basically give us the cash that we need to build buildings. Because the amount of income you get as the Tomb Kings is actually pretty low, and finding cash is a pretty hard thing to do. You don't get much post-battle loot, nor do you get the chance to sack and raise for much cash. So I believe that getting as much income as you can early on is going to be very beneficial to us later in the campaign. So I'm going to actually change this to the Charnel Plaza here, and once we upgrade Khemri to the Mustabi here, that will enable us to build a second open graves and increase the unit capacity for skeleton archers. But as long as we only have one army, I don't think we need more than 4 skeleton archers, so we should be okay. But that is everything done. Let's move on to the next turn. The end turn seems to be moving a lot quicker, which is nice to see. In my previous Warhammer campaigns, the end turn screen was probably what took up the most of my time, as you were waiting for that to complete, but not anymore by the looks of things. Good job sort of optimizing that by CA. But either way, we have Under the Sands here. A new mission issued. Construct a building that permits recruitment of more units. That gives us plus 500 treasury and plus 15 canopic jars. So that would have been good actually in conjunction with the open graves, but never mind. We're going to move towards Gor Kazaam. I'm not sure we can actually attack that in this turn. No, we've got the little red arrow there. So I'm actually just going to go sort of like halfway. We will continue to recruit some more troops. I'll go for double skeleton spearmen, skeleton archers, and then we'll see what happens with the Top Knots armies, because this is like their entire province here, the Southern Badlands. So Galbaraz and Gor Kazaam both controlled by them. They're surely going to have an army nearby, because we haven't seen an army yet. There definitely wasn't one in the Salt Plain, so yeah, we've got to be a little bit wary of that. But either way, we'll move on to the next turn once again. So this is good. The turn skipping isn't going to be so horrible anymore with the end turn moving so fast. I might have to sort out some of the camera settings in the future, do with that animation speed, but we will do that after the end turn has finished. So an army did move into Gor Kazaam, just a small army. If that's the only army they have, then they are in for a bad time. We also have a mission issued to obtain access to iron, and Gor Kazaam gives us iron, so that works out quite nicely. But let's do the camera settings up here first of all. We'll do my faction, I'll put it on fast. For allied factions, we'll do fastest. For enemy factions, we'll do fast. And for neutral factions, we'll do fastest as well. Okay, cool. So, we should have a good time taking on the Top Knots at Gor Kazaam, so let's get on with it. We will quick save and fight it on the battle map. And the reason I want to do that is quite simply just to take another good look at these units. They are absolutely awesome. They look very cool indeed. And we haven't actually had a chance to look at the skeleton spearmen yet, so this will give us a chance to do so. And here we are. Skeleton spearmen. Pretty much going to be very similar to Tomb Guard, I believe. Yeah, just a bit more basic, but still look very cool indeed. Like, I just love the look of all of these units. Look at those little masks they have on the back of those chariots as well. I didn't notice that before. I think only some of the models have them. But that is cool. Trying to restore their former glory by hiding their skull faces. We're going to start the deployment. 22 wins is good. I'm probably just going to start the battle because they're going to be up on the top of this hill. And they're actually moving away from the top of that hill. So let's just align my forces up here. Maybe we can get on the same level of them, or as them, and use that to our advantage. I'm going to bring skeleton chariots to either side. We'll have our Khemri and War Sphinx just charge on through as usual, and Settra can move up as well. So yeah, this Khemri and War Sphinx just does not care at all. It is being blocked briefly by these chariots. Doing a bit of a drift there as it moves up the hill, but either way, very cool indeed. Chariots are getting into position. There is quite a lot of troops, quite a lot of Savage Orc Archer boys actually. Well, 2 units, I guess it's not that many. But here we go. Khemri and War Sphinx just going to get into the thick of things. Crazy because the Khemri and War Sphinx is just so much faster than all of the other units that we have. The chariots might be able to keep up, but especially when it goes into its charge animation here, it's just absolutely crazy. We're going to charge down the line. Because if you do the charge animation through them there, that just does so much damage. Look at that. I love it. Let's move these guys away. I don't want them to be charged. I actually forgot to move up our Tomb Guard with halberds here. I'm going to get Settra to go for the Goblin Great Shaman here. And we'll have our archers target their archers for now, since it's likely that their Savage Orc Archer boys will try and run away. I'm going to bring back these chariots now, since they can probably charge into the back of those Savage Orcs. The Khemri and War Sphinx is still doing a fantastic job here. We're now engaging them with our skeletons. Oh, it just looks amazing. Just letting that Khemri and War Sphinx do its thing is just fantastic. Oh, come on, Settra. Do him in. I'm going to start firing at these Savage Orcs. We'll have the chariots run down the Savage Orc Archer boys. Settra is busy smacking this Goblin Great Shaman and doing a lot of damage. We're still kiting this Savage Orc over here. Let's just come back up the hill with the chariots and they will follow us back up.
Settra the Imperishable.
And in this battle we actually hit the first realm of Souls tier, which is good. Replenishes hit points of combatants. So we are losing some troops. I believe it's more on this side over here. These skeleton warriors are actually in fact crumbling. So let's try and pull them back to avoid the unit being completely destroyed. And maybe we can have our archers cut them down, but never mind. Looks like they managed to make them crumble in time, which is a shame, but never mind. Get our chariots to go into the other Savage Orc Ara boys here. And then we'll finish off those Savage Orcs. Let's have this Khemri War Sphinx go deal with that Savage Orc unit over there. Looks like we've got to the second tier of the Realm of Souls. And the larger your army, I'm assuming the easier it will be to get to the third tier and unlock the Ushabti. Yeah, it looks like we might be losing another unit of skeleton warriors here. I did say that the skeleton warriors are like 100 times worse than the skeleton spearmen, and I believe I was right. So, there we go. Another unit got wiped out. Settra's busy dealing with some Savage Orcs of his own. We've got these men just running down the Goblin Great Shaman there, and some more Savage Orcs, and my chariots have dealt with things over there. Great. These skeleton archers easily taking down multiple Savage Orcs. They're going to be running away. Looks like we've dealt with all of those units. So let's end the battle there, since it was a siege battle. The army deployed in the settlement and the garrison army will just be destroyed, so no need to carry on that fight. It's a shame we lost those skeleton warriors, but like I said, I'm pretty sure I just want to replace them with skeleton spearmen. The extra melee defense of the skeleton spearmen is just so damn important.
Settra is victorious.
Okay, awesome. So that is a rank game for Settra. We definitely want to level him up as quickly as possible because I want the rank 10 to improve his skills. But that's good. We don't need the unit replenishment. We don't need 146 gold, so we're just going to occupy this and gain our foothold in a new province entirely. Great Incantation of Tsar, right unlocked. So this is a mortuary house. It gives us growth at casualty replenishment rate and untainted. We are actually going to demolish this. We can recruit ourselves some more skeleton spearmen, so I'm going to do that, even though we don't have a military building, which is actually a pretty big deal. And what I'm going to do with Settra, start to get him some better magic, I believe. I think that will definitely be a good idea going forwards. Having his magic online early will allow us to win battles that we otherwise would not be able to. And that's everything done for the turn. We can of course perform this right, but we don't need to, so we'll carry on. We also want to be saving our cash right now. We're currently on 6,500, which isn't too bad. Wow, Gor Kazaam going to be under attack by Skarff Toothtaker. This should actually fall in our favour quite easily. There is only Savage Orcs, only one unit of Savage Orc Ara boys, and a couple of units of Savage Orc Boar boys. I believe we could probably kill the Boar boys with the Khemri War Sphinx. I might also have a Skeleton Spearman unit try and deal with those as well. We'll quick save it and fight it on the battle map. This time around we're actually in a much better position than we were before, because we are on the defensive on top of that big hill, whereas before we had to climb it. So we can take advantage of this where the AI previously did not. So let's grab our frontline infantry here, and we'll have them sort of on the edge facing down. the Khemri War Sphinx and these chariots. I'm not sure quite how I want to use the chariots. Downhill charges through my skeleton spearmen might be an idea. Gambling apparently never pays. We'll start the battle. We'll pause it there. Just going to align my forces further down the hill. So we'll go for something like this. And I will have my skeleton archers, of course, behind. Khemri and War Sphinx can just go and harass some of the Savage Orc Boar Boys. It might be worth getting my chariots to deal with the other Savage Orc Boar Boys on the other side, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll have Settra on the right anyway, ready to deal with those Boar Boys, should he need to. Come on, War Sphinx, show me who's boss. Yeah, well, that stopped the charge in their tracks. Okay, so we are going to be charged on our right flank by the Savage Orc Boar Boys. That's okay. I'm going to focus their archers with my own. Get my chariots in there. We'll bring over Settra to this right side as well. Looks like the Boar Boys broke free on the left side as well. That's not good at all. Need to get my Khemri and War Sphinx back. Alright, these chariots are not doing particularly well against the Savage Orc Boar Boys. I'm going to get those skeleton spearmen to move forwards and engage the Savage Orcs. Good having the skeleton archers attack those Savage Orc Boar Boys though, that's good. Going to have the War Sphinx probably chase them actually. We've already got to the first realm of Souls tier. Settra's busy engaging those Savage Orc Boar Boys, which is good. Have him kill off some of those. That's good. I should be buffing my units here. I'll buff the ones in the mid that are struggling. And what I'm going to do is actually go for that charge through the front line into some of these units. Second tier. We're nearly at the Ushabti this fight. Charge through here worked out very nicely. Let's maybe continue through there. I actually healed up those guys quite a bit. Okay, let's pull back the chariots since they didn't really make it through the massive blob on that side. Settra's still dealing with the Savage Orc Boar Boys there. Those Savage Orcs have ran away. We're going to keep targeting them though. Are we going to find the Ushabti this time round? I'm not sure we are. Looks like Skarff Toothtaker here is actually doing a lot of damage to our units. Let's get the Khemri War Sphinx to come back and attack him. And we'll also need to get Settra over here as well. Alright, let's target these Savage Orcs here with all of the archers that I have. We'll keep trying to run down some units with these skeleton chariots as well. Okay. Quite a lot of units running. Yep, looks like we've done it. We were under attack. So running down as many of these as possible is a good idea. let's just make sure we get on to the most replenished units. Or should I say the least damaged units.
Settra the Imperishable.
And run them down. Good thing about chariots is they are very good at running down. So killing off those savage orcs nice and quick. That's good. Should be the same on the other side. Picking up plenty of kills onto those savage orcs. Nice, we'll leave them on 11 there, that's absolutely fine. Their leader's taking a beating from my Khemri and War Sphinx, which is good. Just going to speed things up a little bit. Yeah, it's another bunch of savage orcs gone. Fortunately, it looks like those 47 are going to get away, but we did find the wound onto the enemy lord, which is nice, so we'll end the battle there for a Pyrrhic victory. Definitely a lot harder than I thought it would be, but either way, our chariot's picking up a ton of kills. The spearmen held as long as they needed to, which was good. And recruiting another unit of skeleton spearmen is already in the works, so that's fine as well. So this Pyrrhic victory, we can bind souls to get ourselves some more units replenished. We also get extra casualty replenishment rate for 3 turns from bind souls. Harvest organs gives us 30 canopic jars. Endless March gives us 635 treasury and extra campaign map movement range for the next turn. That could be very nice indeed. Let's go for that. Also, like I said before, getting cash early on is a very good idea. So our mission issued. At the start of your turn, have at least 250 canopic jars, and we get 3,000 from that. Also, destroying the top knots will give us a further 2,030 canopic jars. And Gor Kazaam can work upon the Bone Shaper. These chariots and spamming these chariots seems like a very good idea. So we'll work on that straight away. And we will try and chase down Ruglash Foe Spike here. Let's upgrade Settra though. I think I might go for Assyrian's Incantation of Vengeance. It's actually pretty decent thinking about it against the Savage Orcs, because it slows them down and stops their charge bonus from being so good. So he is in range of his reinforcements. This could go badly, not gonna lie. I'm not sure we have enough infantry really to do this. And they did find themselves a new lord, which is rather frustrating, especially after how much work we did in the last battle. Maybe we should go for it. Let's go. I think this really depends on whether or not they can meet up with their reinforcements in time. And where the reinforcements come in from. Because if they come in from behind me, I'm just going to charge down the initial army and turn around and fight them. If they come in behind them, then we might be in a bit of a sticky situation. Okay, the reinforcements are coming in directly behind them, which is rather frustrating. So we're just going to try and run them down as quickly as possible with our chariots. I'm also going to have Settra just charge forwards. He can use his Wrath of Tra if he gets in trouble. So let's start the deployment, start the battle. They deployed quite far forwards actually. They didn't deploy back towards the reinforcements. So we're going to try and take advantage of that. And it looks like they are coming towards us as well, which is nice. So yeah, I'm just going to hammer through their infantry. I might have the Khemri and War Sphinx focus on their Savage Orc Boar Boys, actually. Do they have any archers? I'm not sure they do. But either way, that Savage Orc unit is crushed already. I'm going to focus these guys onto the Savage Orc Boar Boys on the left side. We did get our chariots kind of stuck. Put these guys into a control group and we'll just put an attack move forward so they can pick their own targets. So just going to hold down those Boar Boys on the right side. We'll get our Tomb Guard in there. It's all just a matter of whether or not we can kill off enough units before the enemy arrive, like the other reinforcements. So at the moment, looking on the edge. Right, we did just smash into all of these Savage Orcs, which is good. Let's keep chasing them down. We need to get our skeleton archers onto their archers. And it looks like their Savage Orc Boar Boys are out of it, which is good to see. Khemri and War Sphinx trying to deal with Ruglash at the moment. Where is Settra? He is nowhere near the front line, which is not good. We need him to be up here in order to use some of his magic. Wait, does that buff all of the units in the area? Oh no, never mind. It's because he's using magic. That makes sense. Yeah, he gives sort of replenishment, I believe. Well, actually, that might have even been the Realm of Souls tier. It just popped at the same time. Yep. Right, let's get these chariots to help out with the engagements on this side. Looks like these skeleton spearmen got themselves into a bit of a pickle. But as long as we win this battle, we're actually in a pretty good spot right now. Oh wow, we did a lot of damage then. Oh, that magic sounds awesome. And like the chanting that Settra does, absolutely incredible. Oh, my chariots are not looking good right now. They are in a very bad spot. Is it even worth like holding on to them though? I guess if they die, we get further towards Ushabti. The only sad part would be I don't really have many units to run down the enemy, which I kind of need to do, especially for the garrison force if I want to continue with a siege in the same turn. Right, my Khemri and War Sphinx kind of got held up, which isn't what I wanted to happen. I'll have those chariots run down the Savage Orc Biggins, that's fine. These guys need to continue forwards, and the Ushabti has arrived. So we've got it on the right side. Let's just have them spawn on top of the Savage Orc Archer boys. And we can start cutting down the enemy. Doing a lot of morale damage. Slow these guys down. I guess that's one thing we can do with Settra. Yeah, we won this, which is good. Winning this is actually really important, so yeah, that's good. It might end up with us destroying the top knots once and for all. Really depends if we can kill off enough of these so that we can attack the settlement in the same turn.
Settra the Imperishable.
I'd really like the Assyrian's incantation available soon. That slows them down at least. Whether or not it does so for long enough for our Khemri and War Sphinx to get involved is a different matter entirely. Looks like the majority of their troops have managed to get away. We'll end the battle there for a Pyrrhic victory. But we got our first look at the Ushabti. I didn't actually zoom in on them, and I probably should have. But still. Very cool indeed. Now, Ruglash was in force march stance, I believe, so he will die. And so will that army, I'm hoping. And then we should be able to attack the settlement soon after. But dependent on how many units actually got away, it could be a very hard battle indeed. Like, taking the replenishment is going to be very necessary. So Ruglash is dead. They do actually have Grebit's barracks in Galbaraz. Now, whether or not that was the case before, I do not know. But their forces are pretty depleted. Our Khemri and War Sphinx is now rank 8. Let's just siege this down. I think we have time to wait, don't we? It depends if we're replenishing or not. Let's quick save it. We'll go to continue siege. If I'm replenishing still, then that's fine, but we're not. So maybe it'd be worth just attacking straight away. I can break through the gates, I believe, with the Khemri and War Sphinx, which is why I can assault it. Let's quick save it and fight it on the battle map. So what I'm going to do is get the Khemri and War Sphinx to knock down the gates. We will then have the Khemri and War Sphinx go for the center, whilst the rest of my forces sort of just chill. Because that Khemri and War Sphinx can pretty much take on all of the enemy forces, I believe. Especially if I buff it with Settra. So we will gamble for more wins, as that is pretty important to us. I then will probably have all of my forces on this left side, other than the Khemri and War Sphinx, which will push through this gate. So I think that's fine. We'll start the deployment, start the battle. Run on through there. I don't think they'll have this tower activated, so I might be able to move over to the right side here and not take any tower damage, which would be very nice as well. If I can get up to these walls, that would be fantastic. Also, moving over here with the archers is a good shout. Not sure about the chariots. I guess I could have the chariots go with the Khemri and War Sphinx over here. Just speed things up. Yeah, we're not taking any tower damage, which is great. Very good. Get my skeleton archers to engage their archers. Okay, that gate is slowly being knocked down. I say slowly, it's actually pretty quick actually. And now our skeleton archers are doing a decent job. against these Savage Orc archer boys. I didn't think I had enough archers to really make this very effective, but it seems like I do. Okay, they've activated the tower now, which isn't good.
Animals.
We're just going to have to try and get out of the way of it. Time to focus on these Savage Orc archer boys exclusively, I think. How close are we to getting through this gate? I think the chariots are getting in the way, I'm not sure. It might have been better to just keep the chariots back. Yeah, let's move the chariots back. And we'll have the Khemri and War Sphinx continue to do its thing. So I feel like that should have been open by now already. I'm going to move these skeleton archers over to the right side. I guess it will trigger Realm of Souls soon. Yeah, our unit got wiped out. That's not good. Get a little bit of healing though, that's good. Might even get some units back. Alright, the Khemri War Sphinx has done the job. Let's go towards the square and just take it. We don't really have to care about the Goblin Great Shaman here, I don't think. Just want to take the middle. Okay, these guys are taking a lot of damage as well now. Let's just continue over to the right side. Are we capturing this? Don't know if we are. I think we need infantry, possibly. Never mind, the chariots are capable of doing so, it seems. So we might find that we capture this sooner than later. Let's just get the Khemri War Sphinx to hit the Goblin Great Shaman, keep him away. And if they're starting to move off the walls, then now's the time to climb. Put that magic onto the Savage Orc. Our boys there. It does do a little bit of damage. That Goblin Great Shaman not having a very fun time. Oh, that breath attack though. Very nice. Oh, he did it twice in a row. That Goblin Great Shaman is done for. Let's just attack the Savage Orc biggins here. We'll hit these Savage Orcs as well. We just want to keep them out of the square so that we can get the capture done. Let's get Settra and some of these skeleton spearmen to go help out over there.
Settra the Imperishable.
Right, we'll use the spell of his. That did a lot of damage. Nice. It didn't look like I managed to stop those Savage Orcs from getting involved. That's annoying. These skeleton archers are still crumbling, which is annoying as well. Let's just get the tomb guards down here. That's very frustrating. We're going to lose the chariot. Looks like I just mismicroed that. But the Khemri War Sphinx, I said before, could probably take on their entire army on its own. It has reached rank 9 now, so it's very, very powerful indeed. Let's kill off this Goblin Great Shaman. Holy moly. It's sending him flying. Right, we're going to charge back down with the Khemri War Sphinx into this engagement.
destroys.
Come on, bound down and into this engagement. There we go. Good job, kitty. Good job. Now back up again. And back down again. Never mind, that is victory. Great, we'll end the battle there. For a close one. It was pretty close, I guess, at the end of the day, but this should, I believe, destroy the top knots. And if it does, then it was all well worth it. So this has been a relatively extended episode today. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the progress that we've been making with Khemri. We're going to go ahead and occupy Galbaraz. And that's going to be where I'm leaving the episode for today. So our mission was successful to restore Khemri, which was maintaining control of one province. That gave us another 30 canopic jars and 2,000 treasury. And issuing a commandment will give us another 500. Province secured. And another mission issued to craft any item or awaken a Legion of Legend via the Mortuary Cult. Armor gained for Settra. And that's job done. Fantastic. So before I forget, I will save it just after ending the episode. But for now, that's all. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.